Alright guys, today we're going to learn how to drain the coolant from a 300ZX Z31. Alright, so there are two parts to this. We're going to drain the radiator, and then we're also going to have to drain the engine block. Because I can't turn mine on right now, the thermostat, which is just in here, it's blocking all of the coolant from inside the engine block from coming out through the radiator. So there's actually a little tiny port on the bottom, on this side of the engine, where you can loosen it up and it'll go ahead and let you drain out the engine block. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so we're first going to go ahead and do the radiator. I've got a catch can here just because, or a catch pan, just because it's probably going to get all over. I think there's almost 2.5 gallons in here total, so we're probably going to need to empty that. So right here, if you can see it, there's the drain bolt for the radiator. Now, I'm not sure if mine works. I think it might be clogged. And if yours is clogged too, this pipe right here that goes up to the thermostat, if you can see that, that's going to be the one that I'm going to take off if I can't get the drain plug to work. And that'll go ahead and just get most of that out of the radiator. And then we're going to go ahead and put more coolant back in this just because it's getting to the winter months and we don't want anything freezing in there. Alright, one thing that's going to help us is jacking this up so we have a bit more working room. As you can see, I've got a jack and then jack stands underneath on both sides. Now, this is very important, and you'll know this if you watch my how to remove your gas tank. You got to block up the back wheels too, or else it will roll backwards, and you will not have a very good day. So go ahead and jack it up, and it's going to make it a lot easier to walk under there. Alright, so as you can see, I got the drain bolt out, and when you do this, you go ahead and loosen your radiator cap, and it'll make it go a lot faster. Alright, so if you can see, this is my drain plug right here, and it's got a bunch of goo on the end. It was in the tank. That's probably because it was sitting for 10 years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this, I'm going to go ahead and clean it off with a wire brush. Alright, so as you can see here, this is my drain plug, and you can see what 10 years of sitting in coolant has done to it. It's just absolutely corroded a band right here and the edge right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get a new one of these and replace it when I put a new coolant in my system too. Alright, now that first bolt, the drain plug for the radiator, that was 17 millimeters, and I just used a regular socket wrench right there, over there. And this next one for the engine block, it's a 14 millimeter, and I highly recommend getting a ratchet end wrench like this, just because it's kind of a hard spot to get to, and being able to flip this around, or having to flip this around, is not very easy. So getting a ratchet end is going to make this a lot easier for you. So now we're going to go ahead and put this on and drain that one as well. Now before I start that one, I'm going to go ahead and put the radiator cap back on. This is really just to keep the flow from going out too far while my hand is still up in there. I don't want to get coolant all over me. And then once it's all the way loosened, I'll go ahead and take that off again, and it'll drain all the way out nice and easy. Up about there on the side of the oil pan, up in there is where the drain plug is. If you can almost see it right there. Right there. Let me see if I can focus this manually because it's not working. Right there. That little tiny spout, that's what we're going to go ahead and unplug. Alright, so as you can see, this one kind of makes a mess when you do it, so you kind of have to loosen it and then back up and put your drain pan under really quick, or else it'll get all wet. What I had to do is I had to take my socket wrench and break it from the backside next to the power steering rack. And then once it was loose from there, I could go to the front while I had the drain pan in the back and then loosen it with my hands. I don't know, I guess it was just kind of hard to do it first, which is why the ratchet wrench wasn't working. And then once you broke it, it was really easy. So I'm going to go ahead and let that drain out, and that's how you drain out your coolant system. Like I said, I'm going to have to get a new bolt for the front one because it was all corroded. And then I'm going to go ahead and get more coolant. This is really important for me, just because I had water in here and it's getting down to freezing temperatures, and I don't want anything breaking. So definitely putting coolant in is going to be a good idea. This is also just, if you find yourself low on coolant or you need to change your coolant. So yeah, thanks for watching. And I know I said that this week I was going to put in a new fuel pump, but I actually got sent the wrong fuel pump. So I had two. As you can see, the tank isn't even in there right now. It's still sitting in my garage. So I'm waiting next week I got a new one off of Amazon because it was just cheaper that way. And the customer service from the website I got was really bad, so I'm not going to really be ordering from them anymore. But yeah, so next week I'll have the fuel pump in and we'll take it for a drive. I know I keep saying that, but I really do mean it. I'm trying as hard as I can to get this thing going. So hopefully see you guys next week while I'm driving this.